When you install or sell a boiler, you think your responsibility ends in the boiler room. Nope. Think again. There's a hidden clause holding you responsible for any and all problems in the rest of the system if the customer says that secret phrase, "This never happened with the old boiler." I wanted to talk about a few projects where we connected new boilers to old univents. This is Boiler Room Detective, and I'm your host, Ray Wohlfarth. Before we start, many people wonder where to purchase my boiler books. They are available at Pronto Heating Supplies, P.F. Campbell, Heating Help, and Amazon. Unit ventilators, or univents, are some of the most misunderstood, hated components in the heating system. I can't understand why. To me, they're ingenious for the way they operate. After our new steam boilers were installed, the maintenance department said one classroom wasn't heating and claimed it started after the boilers were replaced. The maintenance tech and I arrived after school was over for the day. They said, "You have a problem with the heat." I said, "Problem? I would say so. I have no heat in my classroom." Glancing at the thermostat set point, I placed my digital thermometer on top. After a few minutes, the thermometer and the set point were the same, 72 degrees. "It's set for 72 and is 72, I offered. "That thing lies. It's the heater by the window," she said, pointing to the univent. The top of the univent was covered in books. "That's a univent," I responded. "I don't care what it's called. All it does is blow cool air all the time," she informed me, and I nodded. "It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It introduces ventilation air to the classroom," I said, and moved the book away and placed the thermometer on the discharge, nodding as I saw the discharge temperature level out at 60 degrees. Obviously, the teacher didn't understand how the univent worked and didn't want to hear my explanations, so I'm going to tell you how they work so you can try to explain it. The unit ventilator has three jobs. As the name implies, the most important job of the univent is to provide fresh air to ventilate the room. When you have a classroom with 30 students and one teacher, the carbon dioxide levels start to rise quickly, and it gets stuffy. In addition, it tends to get rather smelly, like a locker room after a football game. Not very pleasant. The univent's second job is to keep the room from overheating. A human body generates an average of 330 BTUs per hour. A classroom with 31 people, 30 students, and one teacher will generate just over 10,000 BTUs of heat. When you add the heat from the lights and the computers, you're looking at almost a ton of cooling required. The univent brings fresh air in to try to keep the room from overheating. The univent has a low limit thermostat on the discharge of the steam or hydronic coil to maintain a discharge temperature of 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It does this by adjusting the outside air damper position and modulating the steam or hydronic control. The last job at the univent is to provide heat. On a typical day in a classroom, little heat is required due to the heat from the students and the lights. For the majority of the day, the univent discharges 60-degree air. Granted, the 60-degree air feels cool when blowing across the seats next to the unit. The following is a sequence of operations for a unit ventilator with a steam coil and pneumatic controls. During the occupied time, the blower runs continuously. If the room temperature is below the set point of the thermostat, the air bleeds off at the thermostat, which opens a steam control valve and closes the outside air dam. When room temperature reaches the thermostat set point, air is sent from the thermostat to the control valve, closing it. It then opens the outside air damper. The low-limit thermostat, mounted on the discharge of the unit, is set for 60 degrees. If the discharge air drops below the set point, the low-limit control starts bleeding air, causing the steam valve to open and the outdoor damper to close. The low-limit control will modulate the airflow to the control valve and outside air damper to maintain its 60-degree set point. If this has helped you, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have a boiler giving you trouble, send me an email at ray@fireiceheat.com. Let's solve it together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next case.